don't get old. And to this day, it's the best deal I ever made. Face down, lights out, put some music on, maybe I'll come around. Maybe find a will to sing. And all the things I can never say will come pouring out of me. From my broken teeth, the best and worst of me. And all the things I can never say will come spraying out of my face. Through my broken teeth, the best and worst of me. The cycle goes on, an endless circle, scaring the shit out of me. As we get strung along, trying to win nothing but cosmic debris. If there's something wrong, then there's something wrong with everything. And what spurs us on will pull us apart. Just trying to find our place, find our way through a four-dimensional space. And our reward for this is not knowing why we exist. If there's nothing wrong, then there's nothing wrong with anything. What spurs us on will pull us apart. If I can ask one thing when I am dead, would you lay me down by the riverbed and just let me wash away? Let it take me back from where I came. 'Cause all I am and all I was is just blood and dirt and bones and mud, and I'm better off that way. I'm better off that way. If I can ask one thing when I am dead, would you lay me down by the riverbed and just let me wash away? Let it take me back from where I came. 'Cause all I am and all I was
This is how a Japanese knife is made. Japanese blades are known as some of the highest quality in the world. Sharp as a samurai's katana and forged with the same techniques, these knives are works of art and are becoming increasingly sought after amongst top chefs all around the world. To find out how they're made, we've come to Hirata blacksmiths to see not only the forging of the blade, but how Japan's rarest steel is processed to produce knives of unrivaled quality.
刀鍛冶をやってます、平田助平と申します。
代表やってます平田のどかと申します。よろしくお願いします。
Crafting a high-quality blade isn't just about the skill of the blacksmith though, but depends heavily on the quality of the material it's made of. To ensure the highest quality possible, they make their own steel here too. This particular substance is known as tamahagane and is the rarest type of steel in Japan. In fact, only 3 workshops in the country are still producing this material today.
私たち業者さんの方から砂鉄買ってるんですけど、今これ見てもらうと分かるように砂が混じってるんですね。貝殻だったり砂だったりっていうのが混じってるので、これをね砂と砂鉄で、ね、別々に分けていきます。こんな感じで、これ磁石なんですけど磁力線香で。刀の時は砂が多すぎても少なすぎてもダメなので、結構この作業から重要な作業になってきますね。
これを炉の中に入れて、で大体ね真ん中。
Hola, chuleta. Yeah, man. Cool. Good to see you.
To keep the fire burning hot, an air blower is used to feed a constant supply of oxygen into the furnace. It takes roughly an hour to fully heat, so in the meantime, while Tsukihira-san continues to prep the charcoal, Nodoka-san will measure out the iron sand ready for smelting.
今10キロ前にこっちの大きいコンテナボックスの方に入れてて、今これ20キロ目なんですけど、全部で30キロ用意します。今回は。
The ideal temperature to melt the iron is around 1300 degrees. The inside of the furnace must be carefully monitored too, to ensure consistent conditions.
今中で、炭が燃えてると思うんですけど、熱源体になるので眩しくて中がどうなってるかとか見えないんですね。ここ歯口っていうんですけど、送風口なんですけど、ここから中の様子をこれを通して見ることができて。
Once the inside of the furnace reaches its optimal temperature, the coals at the top are lit and the smelting process can begin. Small portions of the iron sand are scooped up and sprinkled on top of the furnace every 5 to 10 minutes. This is to prevent the iron from sticking together too much and allowing it to fall to the bottom more freely.
僕はね、いいことばかりだと思います。やっぱりね、勤め人とかになってしまうと、やっぱり子供もね、こうやって連れてこれないんですよ。やっぱりね、気使っちゃいますしね、お互いにね。仕事場が一緒でね、自由にできるっていうのはすごくいいと思います。
そうですね。彼がじゃあいいこと言ったんで、ちょっと大変な部分を言おうかなと思うんですけどやっぱ家族経営ってなるとどうしてもやっぱりもう家族間での、やり取りになっちゃうんで、もう分かってくれるって思っちゃったりとかして、ちょっと言葉足らずにね、よく私なっちゃったりとかして、そういうところがね、主人に申し訳ないなとかね。
Over the course of the day, scoops of iron sand are added to the furnace every 10 to 15 minutes. After a few hours, it will be time to make the first check and try and drain out some of the impurities from the furnace. This depends heavily on the conditions inside though, and doesn't always happen as expected.
今この一番下の露呈がですね、こういう風になってるんですね。出来上がった鉄っていうのはこの歯口の下ですね、ここのところにできてます。で、鉄は鉄とくっついてどんどん大きくなってくるんですよ。で、今度は逆に鉄以外のものを外に追い出すんですね。なんですけど、まだそんなにね、温度が上がってないのかもしれないです。
Once checked, the outlet is then sealed up again with a ball of clay. The slag is drained every 20 minutes, so if things don't go to plan, adjustments can be made during the intervals. After a few more attempts, it slowly starts to appear and is gradually filtered from the iron. This cycle of adding iron sand and draining the slag will continue for some time and can take around 8 hours to melt down the entire 30 kilograms. Once all the conditions inside the furnace are just right though, you can hit the jackpot. With the last of the iron sand depleted, it's time to break open the furnace to collect it. The heavy segments of the furnace are separated and lifted up one by one. At this stage, the coals inside are still very much burning, so when they're ejected out of the furnace's main chamber, it results in a huge plume of ash and flame. The unneeded charcoal is then scraped away and a treasure is revealed. One solid brick of pure Tamahagane steel. It's a bit too big to work with though, so first it will need to be pounded down and chopped up into more manageable chunks. At this point, the steel, which is still around 800 degrees, is plunged into a bucket of water to be rapidly cooled, so it can then be measured and sorted.
何キロでしょうか。風体が300だったんで 7.8 なんで300引いて 7.5 キロですね。30キロ吹くとだいたい10キロ前後ぐらいですね。なので7キロなんで今日はちょっと少なめですね。
Using techniques that have been refined over centuries, Tamahagane is one of the highest quality forms of steel that a blade can be forged from. After seeing this process in depth, it's disheartening to know that the trade is slowly dying out, and even in Japan, it's becoming something of a rarity.
珍しいですね。今こうそういう炭火を使って、砂鉄ですね。砂鉄を還元させて鋼にするっていう技術っていうのは今ほとんど残ってなくて、 今の鉄工所でもう何百トンっていう鉄を常に作り続けるとものすごい安い値段で作れるんですよ。非効率なんですね、昔のやり方なので。で取れる量もごくわずかなんです。どこがいいかって言われると、まあ鉄の純度であったりとか、あとは鉄を温度を合わせたらベタってくっついちゃうんですよね。そういったことができるのっていうのはこういった昔の玉鋼だけなんです。今の製鉄の鉄板とかね、ああいうのっていうのは合わせてもくっつかないんですよ。だから溶接したりとかね、ああいうのじゃないとくっつかないです。だから鉄が生き物というかね。
Now that we have the tamahagane to work with, the forging of a blade can begin. Just like with the smelting process, the key ingredient here is fire. More charcoal then must be chopped and the fire pit prepared once again. Just like in the furnace, the metal must be heated to around 1300 degrees in order to make it pliable enough to mold. Before it is shaped though, it must be folded using a Japanese forging technique called orikaishi. The piece of steel is scored down the middle and folded back on itself, and then both sides are hammered back into one piece. To improve the durability of the blade, this will be repeated around 10 times. As with each fold, the carbon atoms are spread evenly throughout the material, and any remaining impurities are pushed to the surface.
Welcome back. So you just fell asleep at the old desk, huh? How you doing, brother? Yeah, that happens to me every once in a while. It's like, especially if I wake up early. Your neck hurts. That's funny. I almost called you today to go to that conveyor belt sushi joint.
As the general shape of the blade starts to form,
I was like,
hand beating
let
with
me
a
not
hammer
bother.
will become essential to get more control over the adjustments.
So I came home and started streaming.
Once the tang of the blade is shaped, it
Jacked
can now
up
be
his
removed from the
neck.
handle. From this small brick of steel, it is further stretched and beaten into its final form.
Yeah, lunch meetings are hard, bro. They suck. They just knock you out, bro. Especially like if you eat a lot. I've gotten used to just like eating very little when it comes to lunch, because if not, it's like you're gonna pass out. Especially being at home, it's like, ugh. It's not good. You'd never be focused, right? I don't think anybody could. That's part of the process.
For the entire duration of the shaping process, the temperature of the blade must be maintained. This means that Nodoka-san must keep up with a constant supply of charcoal for the fire.
特にね、こういう昔ながらの刀鍛冶とかこういった職業っていうのは女性を仕事場に入れないとかね、神様が嫌がるとか、なんかそういうことが結構言われるんですけれど、昔からね、奥さんが
Make the
ハ
gods
ンマーを持って
angry.
手伝ったりとかっていうのはあるので、はい、うちらはそういうのは、ね、一切気にしてないです。
It's like almost like a Damascus steel. Damascus steel. It's basically like making the steel strong or stronger by
僕は剣道をやって
by folding it.
で、まあ剣道のルーツは何かなっていう
Oh,
の
I
で、最終的に日本と
I saw the new
まあ
Ninja Turtle movie,
そういう剣に
and the soundtrack is really really good.
したいなっていうのが
So I don't know if you guys are fans of like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross,
ね
but yeah, Trent Reznor did the soundtrack to the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was pretty awesome, man. Like, it, you know, it totally fits like the modern day, you know, like the modern day teenage society, I guess.
まだ生活が苦しい
I'm not wording that correctly, but you know what I'm saying. It's like it's definitely made for modern day teenagers,
もう十数人
which makes sense because you know when I saw the movies, you know, it was the same thing for us. It was like it was kind of catered to our time, so it's a modern adaptation
With each
of
blow, the blade
Teenage
becomes
Mutant Ninja
closer
Turtles.
and
But it was
closer
really good.
to its intended
the,
shape.
the art
This
style
particular
is like
piece will end
really
up as
really
an
awesome.
18 centimeter long kitchen knife, known in Japanese as a hocho.
See, you just added a damn layer in
例えば
in the
硬さだ
middle.
とか柔らかさだとかっていうのを
All right,
こ
so
ちらの方で調節することができるんですよ
teens who want to
そ
do
の中
nothing
にどれ
but
だけ
sit in their rooms looking at phones.
で
There was a little bit of that,
そうい
yeah.
ったものの調節
But
っていうのも
I thought it was alright. It was a good movie.
自分で調節して
There were a couple of things that I didn't like. Hey, Dicef, how's it going, bro?
逆に今の
But I don't want to give it away. So like,
人工的にね
and if you watch it, just stay for the end of the credits.
ものすごい硬い刃物を作るんですよ
All right, let's explain layers real quick. So, illustration, when it comes to digital illustration, layers are your friend. So, like, if you want to change things, if you want to do things that you don't really want to commit to, or a lighting effect or whatever, then you would create a layer. So, here in Sketchbook Pro, there is a plus sign. I can't you can't see my pen, but I'm moving around this little pen selector tool, and to the right of that there is a plus sign right underneath this color right here, right? So there's a plus sign, and if you hit that, you get a layer, and here it is. And so if you click on that layer, you have all of the layer properties. So you could do an overlay, you can do a multiply, you can do all kinds of stuff. And so if I wanted to use this layer, right? Let's say I want to, let's say I want to add a little bit of texture to Ed's shirt. Select a different brush. I'm on that layer. And, you know, I could do this sort of stuff. And now I'm basically like just altering this layer only. All right. Just altering this layer only. And so I can turn that on and turn it off. Right there. Okay. And then also I can manipulate the style of it. So if I wanted to overlay, soft glow, dodge, lighten, multiply. And so I have a process that I follow when it comes to this sort of stuff. And basically that process goes as follows. I have basic colors, like flat colors just laid down. And then I do the textured layers. Then I do lighting and then shadows, and then bring it all into Photoshop to do like textures and stuff like that, funky stuff. Your mom is a layer. No, your mom is a layer. You're a towel. So if I don't like that layer, I could just hold it, select it, drag it up to the trash can, and it's gone. That's it. That's the magic to layers. So it's one of those. Okay, so what if instead of overlay, You want to orale? Yeah, you could do that too. That's fine. Yeah, you could orale. I kind of feel like you've been saving that joke for a hot minute now. So that's the idea. And then, you know, the way I work is in layers. So I just create layers. Like this is the, you know, this is the clothes, and then skin. Then, you know, like line art is up here. And then I have my sample, just so I can pull colors from, you know. And that's it. That's how layers work. You just gotta mess with it. You gotta mess with them to understand it. So there. Yeah, but I get the layers confused as far as where they go in the sandwich. Oh, you can move them around, man. Like you can move them around. Like if I wanted this one up here, or this one, you know, up here, or whatever, you just move them around wherever you need them. But you do have to keep track of like where the where the layers are. If not, it's not gonna work. I need a picture of the boys. Ed and Eddie. It's been a while since I've seen that. Oh, okay, yeah. So, oh, I see. Yep. All right, let's kick this off again.
あとはまあモリブデンだとかね、タングステンだとかいろんなものを混ぜ込む
Let's see.
合金ですよね。で、それをしてしまうと切れ味がすごくいいんです。
You wind up with toast in the middle, peanut butter and jelly on the outside.
落として
Well, that's not bad.
すると
You know,
直
that's
せ
not
ない
a
ぐらい
that's not a that's not a bad thing to happen.
In pursuit of the perfect shape, a hammer will only get you so far. Now it's time to hit the belt sander and grind down the rough edges.
Yeesh. That was done by hand back in the day. No matter what, bro, there's always somebody sanding. I gotta put that on a shirt. You tune in to watch me sand.
The purpose of this step isn't to polish the blade, but to define the edges and finalize the outline before it's put through its final heat treating process.
これから焼き入れの、準備、まあ、下準備で、土置きっていうね作業になります。これ
Mud.
全焼きの粉と
My name is Mud.
粘土の粉と砥石の粉とあと炭の粉をミックスさせて
My name is Mud.
これを鉄の表面に塗っていくんです。で薄く塗るところっていうのは焼きが入るところですね。硬くなるところです。で分厚く塗ってあるところっていうのは焼きが半焼けになるところですね。ちょっと柔らかい。
This guy's highly concentrated, bro.
日本刀っていうのはまあ切った時の衝撃を
Belt sanding is okay because it's efficient.
こちらの方がちょっと柔らかくなってます。
Yeah, that I mean,
硬いとポケーンと折れて
again, he doesn't have to be like super
ちょっ
detailed.
と柔らかいところを作ってまあ実践での、柔軟性を
It's a piece of steel, but
製
like
作する時の
if I am working on a small figurine,
考えて
I'm not gonna take it to the belt sander. You have no patience. You gotta learn
これから
patience.
焼き入れをします。鉄を硬くする作業ですね。でこれを、約750度
It's interesting how he's using
温度を上げて水で急冷します。でそうすると
this is the modern way of this is the modern old way of making knives, which is weird. Making knives and swords in Japan. Like it's an old way of doing it, but he's using modern techniques. Tools.
白くなっているところっていうのは鉄がね広がって表面の皮膜が剥がれ
Belt
て
sanding is like pressure washing. There's just something about taking over vast swaths of material. Or soothing, sorry. something soothing about taking out. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of the same thing, only on a smaller scale. You zen out, man.
で叩いたらまたね今度ストレスが発生してるんで、もう一回ね念のため
Yeah,
炙ります。
you just zen out, bro. You take it easy, bro. So yeah, hopefully I will have this Ed and Eddie print available soon for all of us Ed and Eddie fans. Someone was asking me because they saw my Mojo Jojo shirt and they're like, "Oh, are you gonna do Powerpuff Girls?" I'm like, maybe.
これから
I have done Samurai
で
Jack,
すね、
And
利用して
Mojo Jojo was like
最後ね
for my promotional
さらに
stuff.
手で研いで仕上げていきます。
So I might do it.
でまずは機械からいきます。
Here we go. There's some belt sanding right there for Moon Boy. Hell yeah. That thing's really rocking, bro. Look at that. It is sharp. It will kill. Like forged in fire. It will kill.
これがねまだ粗いんですよ。これがね40番ぐらいなんで。
Skazan
To ensure
paper.
a smooth finish, polishing on the sanding belt must be done gradually, stepping down the size of the grit little by little.
See? Even that needs to be done little by little. It will cut. It will kill. Forged in Fire is like one of those shows that you could just watch endlessly. Dang, look at that. Look at that blade, boy. Oh, that thing is like 1,000 or 2,000 grit.
鍛えたね肌が肌模様が出てるんですよ。
You could see the pattern.
ちょっと光の角度をこうずらしていくとね。
For the final stages of polishing, sandpaper just isn't fine enough, so a whetstone will be used to produce an incredibly sharp edge.
こう自分で踏んで
This is where a lot of
押さえてるんです
people lose their fingers. Because I seen not this documentary, but I seen another
ね
one.
日本刀っていうのは折れず
Japanese swords are
曲がらず
known for not
よく切れて
breaking.
なおかつ美しいっていうねことが言われてるんですけど
But yeah, like not this documentary, but another one
だから目指す
that were
べき
talking
ところ
about
は
the
日本
guys
刀の
like
ような人間になれてるんです
getting cut
全てのね
while they're sharpening blades,
精神
which is pretty gnarly if you think about it. It's like your goal is to make the sharpest blade possible,
紙を切るときに
but
も
it
し刃が
goes
次が
against
ね
you. Like
小さな刃こぼれとかね
it's not gonna
そう
be
いうのがあ
fun.
ると止まるんですだからゆっくりねやっていくとね分かるんです
Look at that. Now that's a knife. Hmm.
刃の部分は、こういう
花ルル
感じですね
If you look at the blade before sharpening on the whetstone, the edge still has enough surface area to reflect light and looks like a white streak. But after, the edge is now so fine that it becomes almost impossible to see when viewed straight on. Although the blade is now finished, it's obviously not usable until it has a suitable handle. To ensure a sturdy fit, the tang of the blade will require a little more shaping before the handle is fitted.
The
In
Kool-Aid
stark
of the
contrast
blade.
to the delicate polishing on the whetstone, this calls for an angle grinder. I'm not sure I'd try that without gloves on though. Doesn't that hurt?
痛いですちょっとね慣れですけどね
Look at this guy, bro. Like straight up angle grinder. Damn.
As with every other step in the process, all of this is done by sight and feel of how the blade and handle will fit together.
See, that's the biggest thing. Like, usually when I do vinyl figures and stuff like that, or anything out of clay, that's what I try to explain to people. It's
The
like,
knife is now complete with its
I
handle
can't-
fitted
I can't
and
tell
surface
you
polished
what
to
it's like.
perfection, but
You have
there's
to-
still
you have to
one
do
step
it.
to finish. The blade must be signed by its creator.
so you like feel, you know, like when you're sanding, you're like, how, you know, when do you know when to stop sanding or whatnot? You feel it. And even then, sometimes it's not like enough. Like you still gotta sand more, depending on how smooth you want something.
これがね、
Spray paint
僕の
definitely helps.
刀鍛冶の名前でスケヒラと読みます。これ刃物油をね塗ってます。鋼なので、空気に直接触れると少しずつね酸化していくので、それの防止ですね。日本刀っていうのは
Have you? Yeah.
自然界にあるすべてのね
It sucks, man. Getting cut.
火も
Getting cut is one of those things that, like, you know it. The minute it happens, you're like, dang, dude, I know. And it's like, you know it's gonna hurt.
魂まで使うわけです。
But yeah,
だからそういった
you have a nifty little
合わ
device.
さってできたのがこの日本刀なんです。だから常にね
You have a nifty device to like to do what? To cut or to like sharpen the blades?
そうすれば相手を思いやることができるんです。で相手が思いやることができるっていうことは戦う必要がなくなる。
Mouse was in the way.
And that is how a Japanese knife is made
most
from the rarest steel in Japan.
There you go.
If you like this video, then please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification
Tell
for
me what to
instant
do, bro.
updates on new videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
That was pretty cool. Let's see what else we have. You're freaking H3. That's so funny. Oh, wait, let's see what else we have here. I know I've been saving some. So hang on. Dude. There is some other ones we have. Let's see. Art videos. All right, so we have we have a 35-minute video on how to add texture to your art. There's also a 40-minute video for the art and science of Leica. That one I believe is like a TED Talk almost. Like creative push. That's an hour long, so I don't want to go to 8 p.m. because I do have to do a couple of things. So, this is a good one. So this is a quick 20-minute video of Sinix. He's an artist on YouTube that I like to watch. And he's got an interesting technique. So he does a lot of digital painting, but he treats it like carving. So, hey, how's it going, Grand Poobah? Thanks for stopping by. This artist Sinix, he does a lot of like digital paintings, but he treats it like carving, like basically he paints like he's sculpting almost. So it's pretty cool. Painting faces. It's a pretty good video if you want to check that out. What's up, Big Pimpin'? What's up, Big Pimpin'? Not much, man. Just working on an edit piece while we watch videos, art videos or whatnot. So yeah, you guys want to check this one out? Sinix Painting Faces. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, we'll check it out. Because I want to go to like 7:30. Yeah, I want to go to like 7:30 because I got to cook and all that good stuff. You love Ed? Well, who's your favorite? Ed, or Eddie? Or all three? All right, let's check this out. We're going to see this one by Sinix. So he's really good. I like him. Oh, wait, in May? Hold on, man. Why are you going crazy like that, mate? Here we go. Oh, you got in nuts, mate. Painting faces.
Hey guys, it is Sinix, and this is going to be a video
Yeah, this guy's
about
pretty cool.
digitally painting faces and skin tones and all that good stuff. It has been a long time since I've done a art tutorial, so I guess I don't need those anymore. But yeah, as you can see, I've prepared a bunch of line art of various styles and kind of did a bunch of just random drawings.
The only reason we all want jawbreakers. Yeah,
so
right?
I tried to really get a nice mix of styles. Well, at least within my
It bothered
realm
me
of
every time they ate
comfort,
those
so,
things, man. It's like,
yeah, so I prepared
hurt.
this, and I think we're just gonna tackle one face at a time. Maybe I'll speed up some future ones and do post commentary, but for this first episode, I am just going to tackle probably this male.
I'll put links
adult
to
male
Sinix
face in the
page
middle,
so you guys can
and
follow
I'm gonna
along.
do the commentary
But
live
he's
as I
really
paint.
cool.
So,
Good artist.
for starters,
One of
let
my
me just put
favorite
my
artists.
color wheel here so you can see it. I'm using Painter 9, and I'm probably just going to be using a brush that's
I have Painter on my
basically your
tablet.
standard. It's the thick and thin pen, but I think it's any brush will work that's basically just has a opacity pressure setting on your tab.
So yeah, for me, I'm in the process of like learning, or not learning, but like defining my digital painting. Like, obviously, this is an illustration. You know what I mean? But digital painting is something that I'm good at it, but I could always get better, right? So like any artist that I know or would want to get better at their craft, and so the way you do that is just over and over and over and over practice, and by checking out videos like this. So Sinix is one of those guys that in the morning when I'm doing practice sketches or practice painting or whatever, I'll put on one of his videos and just kind of go through it and get motivation or whatnot. And so I really enjoy his videos, and I'm going to post a link in the description for this video here so that everybody can check out the original and check out his channel and all that good stuff. So this is Sinix painting faces. All right, so just wanted to put that out there. Here we go.
Tablet. Yeah, there's not much. I guess it also has the size pressure too, but the main thing is the opacity pressure. All right, so anyway, as you can see, I already added a slight off-white back tone here. I'm going to be painting under the line art for this one, but if things go well, I'd like to also paint on top of the line art. Because you don't really want any blacks or...
Hello, step on me.
That sounded horrible. Yeah, as your grandmother used to say, you want to stay away from blacks. No, but you don't want any either strong pure black or pure white in a finished painting, just because it's unnatural to see that in real life. Everything's slightly off of the pure digital white and pure digital black. But anyway, let's hop right in here.
That was awkward.
I'm going to start. Usually, you want to stay in roughly this area for your skin tones.
But he's not wrong.
Between these reds and these
as far as the colors go, there's
starters,
nothing in nature that's pure white or pure
nice, kind of slightly cooler base tone, and that's going to kind of be my dark. I'm going to work from dark to light. As you can see, that's
my favorite way of painting, from dark to light.
So it's going slightly toward the cooler side. And yeah, I'm just gonna smear this doo-doo around and give this guy a nice base layer. And don't worry too much about painting inside the lines. It really doesn't matter at this point. Just want to get your colors down. You can always touch up your lines. I'm sorry. You can always touch up the outsides at the end, clean up all your intersections and whatnot. But for starters, or just for any time you're establishing things, you really don't have to worry about your lines.
Hopefully everybody had a good day. Good start to the week.
There we go. So we've established, it looks like a nice little chocolate chocolate sculpture.
Chocolate
And
rain.
yeah, I like to start with the forehead and usually kind of work my way down. There's a few areas. The forehead usually has kind of your basic skin tones, and then you get more reds and things when you get.
What I love about this, and you know, I know I keep stopping it, but what I love about this is that he's just using a standard flat brush, like, because that's a thing that drives me insane. Everybody's like, "Oh, what brushes do you use? What brushes do you use?" And now, not so much, but like, you know, early 2000s or whatnot, everybody would ask other artists for their brushes, like somehow they're gonna achieve the same look or style or feel if they had, you know, that artist's brushes. So I like to make a note right here that he's just using a flat brush, which is pretty cool.
To the cheeks and the eyes and the nose. Then when you get to the mouth area, you can get those slight, you know, stubble effects where it's desaturated. There's more grays and greens and blues and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just start with the forehead. I'm not going to do anything too drastic for now. Let's see. I think I'll go all the way up here. Maybe I'll just try to establish some lighting for now.
Best thing to do.
Let's see. I think I'll just do a basic top-down lighting for this one.
So important.
So
Lighting
let's
is so
just
important
color
in
in the forehead
any
a bit.
digital painting
Give ourselves some
or
colors
painting
to
in
look
general.
at.
Just
The nice
even
thing
on
about
canvas.
using a opacity pressure brush is that you can always, if you feel like you've gone too strong, you can
He's a
always
bit
pick
nervous
something
today.
around the edge and get that nice happy medium. So that's always nice. Constantly be changing your color because it's usually a good idea. Change your color a bit. Use strokes that basically follow the shape of the face. So I'm kind of following the forehead with my strokes as best I can. So yeah, do some kind of darker stuff on this side. Not too dark though.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm
Sorry
talking
if I
about.
get
Right
quiet
here.
at times and just thinking about my next move.
The value just changes so quickly.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just color his whole head. Don't worry about the hair and whatnot for now. Give it a slightly more subdued tone, but it doesn't matter that much. I don't even know if I'm gonna give him hair or just make him bald and whatnot. I usually don't decide until the end. So
Single layer.
there we've kind of established one base color, and that kind of just gives us some light to work with.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and put some down on the cheeks too. Just so
It's crazy how fast
really
you establish
establishing our lighting setup.
detail with just
So,
simple
yeah,
lighting
kind of go around the
techniques.
eyes and really fall on the cheeks and whatnot. Yeah, I think this is working out okay so far. There'll probably be a shadow under the nose. Have some more lighting over there. Some lighting on the chin, not quite as strong as the rest. So I've kind of established my basic lighting structure here. And now I'm just going to go back in and start adding a lot more colors and hues and things. So for instance, on the forehead, I think I'm going to I like to kind of mix the left and the right side so they don't look too much like the same. So I think I'm going to bring some reds in on this side, just maybe some sun damage, you don't know. It's like some fun reds. Let's see. Yeah, that's some good red color right there. Bring in some reds over there just to give it some more interest.
Yeah, usually
It's a bit too
blood
strong.
vessels where the skin is kind of
Yeah, I still don't know what
translucent
I'm doing
is
over
the
there, so
ears
I'm
and
not
nose.
worrying too much
you know?
about it. I'm just worrying about my skin tones. So things don't have to connect exactly. You'll see this kind of, there's like a red spot out here, and that just kind of gives the skin more personality.
Why do I use the fill? Just for
I
speed.
feel like I need to bring in some darkness here.
So like,
And
if I
maybe some
wanted-
lightness.
if I wanted to like,
Yeah, I mean, you can just
You know,
kind of keep going back over stuff with darks and lights until you get the
Just for
mix that you
speed.
think looks right.
I don't want to sit there and like
And
color
you'll
for
probably get a lot
hours.
of different colors, and they'll help you establish your skin tones and whatnot. So I like what's going on here with the kind of slight reddishness. Obviously, the area right above the brow is going to be sticking out a bit more than the area kind of more in the flat part of the forehead. You can also kind of hint at some of the creases and lines. So let's try to bring in some more highlights, and I'm gonna go to a warmer color for that. Maybe even slightly grayer for the forehead. Not quite that gray.
That's interesting.
Maybe somewhere around there. So I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
work
saying
those
if you
into the
don't
other side.
if you
So
don't
there's,
use it,
like I
what do you
said,
mean?
some variation between sides.
Hold on, I'm I'm confusing myself. It's just so you don't have to swap brushes or some form of madness. No, I'm saying you don't use it. Oh, I do use fill. Yeah, I use fill. Not all the time, but I do use fill. But I like to keep my line art separate from colors. And so if I use the fill on that same layer, it wouldn't work out because like I have a specific style for this piece, and you can see how it's kind of like a pencil. And so it's not a solid line. So it wouldn't fill the shape. Like if I wanted to do Ed's face, it wouldn't fill the shape. It would just fill the whole page. And that's why I do an outline first and then dook, and then fill in the line. Yeah, I keep outlining stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's that, and also it's just I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to just separating the line art from color art. It's rare that I use everything in one layer, like a lot of artists do. They just drag colors over, and like I don't like that. It's just my way. Like the fat tree branch, you just outline a color. Yeah. So that's the reason why I do it. Is because so like for instance, if I was to, let's say, let's turn off that layer, and you have these trees here or whatever. If I just bucket, dunk, the whole thing goes green. So what I do in that not aspect, but what I do is I create a outline like this, just because it's not on the same line layer. And then that kind of controls it. So if I did this, see? And I'm not altering this line layer. Cuz it's like I don't know. it's just the way I do it. It keeps everything in line in my mind somehow.
I'd decide. Yeah, that's okay. I'm feeling okay about those color choices. Maybe it can even be more desaturated. So let's bring it down a back. Ooh, that's really desaturated. And that kind of works for the hair area. I can bring down those saturations a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. Bring in these colors here. As you can see, I'm just always using the edge of my areas to mix up my palette without having to constantly.
Is your
go
tablet
back to
ready
this.
to go?
The less I go back to over here, the better. I want to be
Because
working, focusing
if it
on
is,
the actual face.
on my Discord, there is
So,
an
let's
art
see.
meetup
Get some light
to go to
here.
Achilles coffee shop.
Kind of
It's in
wanna
the
get that
Metro
light,
West
make
area,
it look like it's a lot
and
brighter
yeah, we're
around
gonna
the
hang
top
out.
area.
So if you're more than welcome to join. Any artist that wants to join and hang out and kind of talk shop, definitely show up. It's gonna be October. Nope, I'm sorry. It is not October.
Maybe around the hairline, I could be doing something
Stand by.
different.
I will post a
Slightly
link in my
more
chat.
Darker.
It's gonna be
Some darkness
September
over here in
2nd.
the reds too.
That's when the art meetup is.
Some real stronger reds just to make stuff pop
So,
a little.
yeah.
Work it back out if you don't like it.
It's gonna be it's a really chill place to go. Hang on just one second.
I need some darker reds down here just to kind of transition
Yeah,
into
here we
the
go.
eye
Artist
area.
Meetup. So if you follow this link, it has all the
You'll
details.
notice
to
these
the-
things
to
like
the-
eyebrows and stuff really
artist
stick out,
hangout.
and that's why you want to do some
It's a good place to
after
learn all these
establish your
techniques, and I could show
faces,
you about layers and all
under
that
your
good
line
stuff.
art,
So
just to
if
'cause
you're
you don't want to
interested,
leave these strong black,
on by.
really inky looking eyebrows.
You
up.
got a new
wanna
case
go
and
over those
everything.
afterward and really get rid of
Nice.
them.
Yeah, man, come down, dude. Come down. Achilles and Metro West, they got food,
Let's
like
see, what is the color I'm looking for here? Maybe more.
it's not like a full restaurant, but it is a nice little cafe. It's real chill. They play chill music.
I'm not afraid to just make bold strokes and
It's
go over whatever already
it's real
done and
hippie like.
kind of ruin it a bit.
I like going there a lot.
Find something you like and just go with it.
So I
Don't worry
figured
about
I'd
what
just
you've already
do the
established.
first meetup there. So
So that
I made the
might
event,
be
and so
okay.
if you want to sign up, go for it,
Bring in
and
some
we'll meet
stuff
there.
here.
September 2nd, from 12 to 4 p.m. We'll be hanging out there just doing our
yeah,
thing.
I'm just gonna
so.
start working on the eyes for a bit, and maybe that'll give me some inspiration. So I'm gonna use a lot of reds around the eyes, some dark purpley colors when I get to the shadows.
There's a lot of
yeah,
like
some
blood
really
vessels around
strong-
there.
Some stronger reds too when I get really close to the eye, or these areas around here and the nose, and a little bit on the cheek too. I'm bringing some red just to make it kind of give it that cheeky feel.
It's a cheeky feel.
And I'm just kind of looking around the face and the parts I've already done to think like what color I want even down here. I kind of want to mix it up here. I'm kind of establishing his cheekbone, but I'm going back out with a more desaturated color as I get closer to the edge to show kind of some interest there.
Right on.
And I'm even bringing some light around the very edge
Right
just to
on.
give some secondary lighting effects, some bounced light and whatnot.
Bounce light. Jump,
So,
jump,
let me
everybody
just work
jump.
on the eye for a bit. Bring in some lightness. Bring in some really lightness.
It's like right away he defined
Maybe not
all the
that
lighting
way.
and everything. So it's like if you squint your eyes and look at that, you could see, like the way the lighting
And
is
so probably
just
wanna carry
popping
this
everything
all the
out,
way
man. It's
down.
so freaking awesome.
So you can kind of establish a lot about the facial features when you're doing this. Like you can easily change it for a more rounded, chubbier face, or make it look really bony and skinny. And that all comes during this kind of this step of things. So I'm gonna bring some grayer tones into this area. Or I think I'll just take a color like this
A
and
deeper shade of
desaturate it.
soul.
Might be too much desaturation. Go a little gray. Go a little up here, actually. Try that. Huh. that's an
Follow
interesting
along
look. So I'll bring a little
in the
bit of that color in.
Discord.
And that kind of makes it.
He's got better
slightly
drawing
more
skills than I do. You're tuned into his show.
All right, so we got some interesting stuff going on. With the eyeball, you never want to go like just pure white. You
Nope.
want to just use colors that you've kind of already established. Obviously, not quite as saturated.
He's right.
And that even might be too light. So, let me see what I can think of. Somewhere in there. Yeah, that's not too far off. You don't want the eyes to really pop out because they're obviously placed back into the head. I mean, obviously there's white color in the eyes, but since they're placed back, they get a lot of shadow and stuff on them.
They're also translucent. Like a
So-
lot of people don't realize
Sounds like too.
that light
And
goes right
I'm
through
just
your
gonna
eyes.
Go ahead and give him some dark brownish eyes.
I shouldn't say translucent, but
Maybe bring in some black. Not yet
Uh,
using full pressure. Just
yeah, all the
just a
all the
little bit
light
of black to
gets
help me out.
captured
here.
in the eyes, so it's not
That
like
could work.
pure white.
Bring a little more red around these eyes. This might be a bit too strong. So sometimes I'd like to just go with a nice strong stroke and then work my way back out into a lighter color.
That's what she said.
Hey guys, a little hiccup here. I've actually switched over to post commentary because while I was doing this, I started to notice that the time kept going on and I was kind of meandering a bit, especially around this time. You can see me kind of with my painting. I was like, all I was thinking about was like, oh, I've kind of gone over time. Like, should I finish this or should I scrap it? And eventually I just realized, okay, I'll just keep working. I'll work kind of more, I'll focus more on doing it properly.
There you go.
And I'll just speed this last half up and
Speed
do
it
some
up.
post commentary. So that's where I'm at right now. As you can see, I'm adding a lot of red to the nose. And I think this is sped up 3 times, something like that. This whole face paint I did took like 30 minutes, which is kind of long. I don't know.
Check the link.
I was going
Something
pretty slow
happened
at
to the
first
link?
because I'm trying to talk, and it's actually kind of difficult to talk in paint.
Let's
It used
see.
to be, and it still is. Like, I wasn't sure if I'd finally gotten better at it, but it's still pretty difficult to actually concentrate on 2 things at once. So, as you can see, I'm bringing some
Oh, it
color into the
expired.
neck.
The invite expired.
Using kind of the same
Stand
skin
by.
tones. Pretty much, definitely not the brightest highlights on the neck, but some of the softer, more
I could just
subdued
invite you
midtones.
directly.
And yeah, I brought like some really purple colors into the nose, and I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that at this
Yeah, it's
point.
weird
like, just
how it
looking
just
at
expires like that.
But I definitely improve it as I go on because I'm like, oh, that looks pretty weird. So there's a lot of weird strokes going on, like you can see on the cheek and stuff. And I'm not really worrying too much about the
Let's try it
overall
again.
form. I'm just trying to get my colors
Let's see if this one works.
make me happy, and they aren't quite doing it yet. So I bring in some shadows around the bottom, around the
There
I
we
don't know
go.
what those are called around the
That one
like,
should work.
lips. You'll notice on the side of your lips, like there's usually kind of a slight hang down that curves around, and so you want the shadow to just kind of
Thank
follow
you, sir.
that. Don't just follow just the lips themselves, because the lips don't actually like stick out on their own. Well, they do, but there's like it's the bottom part under the lips. That's kind of where the shadow line is. So, yeah, I'm mainly just doing that, and yeah, here I start to add some highlights to the nose, and I like it a little bit more. Obviously, the line art for this character had a very kind of weird nose. I was kind of being experimental with that, and he just had that weird curve, which is very kind of cartoony. But
He looks
obviously the
like
rendering
he
style I'm trying to do
belongs
is
in,
more realistic
Grand
than
Theft
the
Auto or
nose would
something.
like to allow. But I think it worked out okay. It's kind of weird,
That's
kind of
funny.
interesting. Kind of gives him a very kind of twisted face, which I enjoyed. So now you're seeing why I made the ears so big. You may be wondering. It's because I wanted to show off one of my favorite things to do, which is to add a lot of subsurface scattering to the ears. Really make them look strongly backlit. And to do that, I was just going in and really just going pure saturation, just bumping the saturation up a bunch and knowing what color I wanted to go to, which was kind of a reddish orange, and just going straight for it with saturation. I think I did 2 levels of saturation. One
Did that one work?
halfway there, and the other one's just like full blown, go crazy saturation.
Go crazy.
So let's see. Try to see what I'm doing at this point. Yeah, it looks like I'm still just kind of working
Going
on the
nuts.
eyes. I
I
was
was
having
like,
some trouble
the
with the
hell
line
happened?
art because it was kind of bugging me. It was getting in the way a bit. It's a bit heavier than I like to do stuff. I don't normally work with I normally just work on top of the line art and stuff.
Liar.
So I think at this point I was mainly just trying to wrap things up and kind of figuring out how I can make this look decent and like really wrap it up with some of the details to make it look passable. And let's see, where am I at now? Yeah, it's still just working around the eyes a lot, trying to get the eyes to look right, because that's a pretty important place. A lot of people, like when you look at a face, you kind of look straight or for the middle around the eyes. Right there, you can see it flashing off and on, because I was seeing how it would look without the line art on at all. Just kind of doing things like that. And this is where I start to paint above the line art, so this is where things start to look a lot more finished. I add some reflections to the eyes. I think I kind of went too strong with those. But, I definitely got rid of those eyebrows. 'cause
it doesn't
those
look
were
too
bugging
bad.
me. So I got rid of the eyebrows, just
Good
repainted
choice.
them in, without using any black ink or anything.
The art
just
director
like
would have been
soft
like,
browns.
nah, bro.
Yeah, and right here I'm just all this,
Gotta get
I
rid of
think
them
everything from
brows.
here to the finish is just painted above the line art layer, so it helps to make things look more finished.
Double D.
I think I went back in and added a lot more shadows around the neck because it was pretty light looking actually. So I wanted to make it look a bit darker. Brought in some grayer tones around the left side and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just messing with the outline, adding some more secondary lighting.
This is
I
me
add
right
some
here.
to the nose, yep. Add
My
some
boy.
to the nose to kind of soften up those lines and make it look a lot better.
I'm just like him.
And I was
OCD,
fixing the lips a
don't
little 'cause
touch
they look pretty
germs.
bad. And I think
Wear a
it's pretty
beanie.
much done. So yeah,
Where's my
that's it
beanie?
for this. That's it for this phase. Tune in, and I'll probably do another one of the faces. You can share your
It's
opinion
my
on which
boy.
face you want to see, or like what kind of colors you want to see in the face, or styles and things like that. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something or other.
Sweet. So there you have it. That was Sinix. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely check out his channel. He's got a lot of good videos and stuff. So yeah, it's good. Really, really good. All right, here we go. So we established all the basic colors for this art piece, for this art print. And I don't know, I kind of like the concept. You know, they're all just kind of chilling in a tree. It has that very like, Cartoon Network feel to it. I'm going to do some small texturing like I normally do. And then basically do some lighting effect because I want it. You know, I want like the sun to kind of go through the trees or go through the leaves and kind of cast certain shadows and stuff like that. So I'm looking to do that and then add the funny element of it all, which is, of course, the boys just drooling on each other, which is very typical of Ed and Eddie. And a little bit of texture, like it's a certain texture that I like to use in Photoshop, and then that's it. Then that's it. It'll be ready to go. So yeah. Big shout out to everybody: Moonboy, Step on Me, Dicef. Who else? The squared one was in here. Grand Poobah. So Grand Poobah, first time in chat. Welcome. And everybody else who watches, man. Thanks for tuning in. I normally stream around this time, 6, 7-ish, every day except Friday. Friday we do Spooky Shorts TV here on Twitch. So make sure to check that out. Starts at 8 p.m. We watch horror films or horror shorts. We hang out with each other and try to make each other laugh. But we have a good time. And if that's your sort of thing, then definitely hang out and check that out. Or I should say, check it out and come hang out with us. But yeah, we have a good time there. And here at Bot10 Art, you'll just see videos just like this, where I create art pieces that go up on my website. And that's pretty much it. And just kind of hang out, talk to my friends on chat. Nothing too elaborate or crazy. But yeah, we'll continue on probably tomorrow. Tomorrow if I have time to stream, I'll definitely keep working on this piece so you guys can see how all that works. But yeah, so until next time, we shall see you later. Have a great evening, and hopefully you have a great week. So there you go. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.